Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. I'm your teacher Ganesh Pujari and today I'm going to help you guys with one of the interesting and easiest topic from the Indian Contract Act 1872, that is guarantee. Guarantee under the Indian Contract Act 1872 is discussed under section number 126 and 127, and I'm going to help you guys with the meaning, parties and essentials of the contract of guarantee. As always, my presentation starts with a scenario and you have all the notes required pertaining to this topic. Let's get into business with the first slide, the scenario. There are three people sitting there and discussing something. The first person says, I need a loan. The second person is a banker and he says, I can give, but who takes the liability if you fail to repay? So he's a banker and his job is to give money. He says, I'm ready to give money, but what if you fail? So the third person says, who is the friend of the first person, he says, I will be the surety. Now that's very clear. The first person who is asking money is principal debtor. The second person who is ready to give money is the creditor, and the third person who is ready to give the guarantee is called surety. The concept of principal debtor, creditor and surety is discussed under section number 126 and 127. The first person who is asking for money is called principal debtor. The second person who is ready to give money is called creditor, and the third person who is giving guarantee for the first person, saying that if first person fails to repay, I will take the liability, is called surety. I hope that's very clear. With that, we'll move to the next slide. Now let's try understand the meaning of guarantee. Guarantee is a contract to perform a promise or discharge a liability of a third person in case of his default. Friends, remember that if there is no default, the third person who is surety will not have any liability. He is giving the surety to the second person, saying that if first person fails, I will take the liability of the first person. That's very important. So it's a guarantee to perform a promise or discharge a liability of a third person in case of his default. Now, major terms you have to remember when it comes to guarantee are three terms. One is lender, the second one is supplier, and the third one is employer. Lender is very easy. We have seen the case of bank where the banker is giving money, he is the lender. In the case of supplier, what happens? If your friend has a store, you are requesting Mr. X, saying that you keep supplying 20 kgs of rice bags to my friend, and if ever my friend fails to pay you, I will take care of the payment. That is in the case of supplier. In the case of employer, what happens? You are asking the employer to give employment to some of your friend and say that if he ever fails to perform his job perfectly, I am the guarantee and I will assure that the same is taken care. That is in the case of employer. Now, who are the parties? There is a surety. The person who gives the guarantee is surety. Principal debtor, the person in respect of whose default the guarantee is given is principal debtor, and creditor, the person to whom the guarantee is given is creditor. I hope it's very clear. Principal debtor is the one who is taking loan, the creditor is the one who is giving the loan, and the surety is the one who is giving guarantee to the creditor, saying that if at all principal debtor fails to repay, I will take care of the payment or I will pay on behalf of him. That's the surety. I hope it's very clear and you have understood by now. Now let's try understand the essentials of guarantee. Now try understand the essentials or features of guarantee. There are 7 items I have brought in. The first one being essential of valid contract. The essential of valid contract under the Contract Act is discussed under section number 10. All the requirements which are being mentioned in the Contract Act section number 10 needs to be fulfilled. Second one, there are 3 parties and tripartite agreement. 3 parties. Who are the 3 parties? Principal debtor, creditor and surety, and there is tripartite agreement available between the principal debtor and creditor and surety and the principal debtor. These are the 3 agreements available, and then there should be consent from all the parties, that is debtor, creditor and surety. All of them should give consent and there is consideration for all of them. Principal debtor is getting money, creditor is getting interest as well as money, and surety is getting indemnity from the principal debtor, as well as he is getting goodwill for doing good things for principal debtor. That's the consideration for him. The fourth one, there should be principal debt, there should be supply, or there should be employment involved in the case of guarantee. That's the fourth essential. Fifth essential, capability of entering into contract. This is very essential for the creditor and surety, but sometimes capability is not required for the person who is taking the benefit. Principal debtor may not be required to have all the capability to enter into the contract. Sixth one and seventh one are very, very important. Sixth one being guarantee not to be availed by misrepresentation, as mentioned in section number 142. There should not be misrepresentation from the principal debtor to the surety. That's very important under section number 142. And there is one more which is under section number 143, which says guarantee not to be obtained by concealment of fact. The principal debtor should not take the guarantee from the surety by concealment of fact. That's very important, guys. I hope it's very clear. The first one being essential of valid contract. Second one, there is three parties as well as tripartite agreement. Third one, there is consent and consideration available by all the three parties. Fourth one being presence of principal debt or supply or employment. Fifth one being capability to entering the contract. Sixth one being there should not be misrepresentation as per section number 142. And seventh one, there should not be concealment of fact, section number 143. I hope by now you are very clear on the contract of guarantee. With that, I am concluding this class. Thank you so much for watching me. Please subscribe, comment, share and like my videos, and all the very best for your exams. Thank you so much.